Hey, what's up guys? Hope all's going well. Today I'm just going to give you my quick take on Body Cam. It's now available on digital. This movie stars Mary J. Blige and Nat Wolf. It focuses on this cop who, after the savage death of her colleague, discovers that the footage of the crime will only play for her. These violent attacks increase, as does the supernatural power behind them, which really makes this cop struggle even more to find out what's going on. So let's get into this thriller to see if it actually does deliver some thrills. To be honest, this movie slipped under my radar. I hadn't heard about it, but when I caught the trailer, I certainly was intrigued. I love cop thrillers. I love supernatural thrillers as well, so putting the two together seemed like a good time. Plus, it's been a while since I've watched a movie in this subgenre, so going in, I was both optimistic and curious. The movie really does start out very quickly with the dark, sinister tone being captured right out of the gate. We quickly see that something of another world or species is at play behind this cop's murder. I really thought it built immediate curiosity, and it did set the stage for a potentially grim story with layers of development as Blige's character searches for answers to the unexplained events happening. And admittedly, it does show flashes of this later, but the story to me was not nearly as fleshed out as it could have been. It's a serviceable film, don't get me wrong. The violent moments involving this entity are gritty, they're nicely captured, and they show off some capable effects for what could be assumed was a smaller budget, and I actually did feel just all the suspenseful moments throughout the film were just nicely executed. The problem for me with this movie was that the long stretches of story in between these moments were surprisingly dull. The main bulk of the story that moves things forward was not nearly meaty enough to create a plot that made a lot of sense or made you care too much about what was happening. I think this movie was also missing characters that felt real, that felt unique or genuine, nor did they have layers to them. I didn't really connect or care about any of them, which made the story overall feel a bit hollow. So I guess the violent visuals worked enough, but they kind of just felt like empty calories in a story that didn't pace itself very well. We often see these films where main characters are searching through dark, ominous locations as they just rifle around for clues, and this movie did that a lot, with a lot of exposition added just to move the story forward. Many scenes were extremely too long, and it made the movie drag more than a few different times. And I won't deny there's always going to be some kind of level of suspension of disbelief needed when diving into this type of film, but the progression of this plot felt like it was something different. It just felt like it was missing a natural flow through the scenes and how information is delivered to the viewer, and by the time the closing act comes around, you can already have predicted the story and the character arcs, and it just altogether didn't work for me. And the script also weaves in some social commentary about the brutality of the police towards different races, and it didn't stick out as much for me as it may have for other critics as being an issue. Yes, some of the dialogue is a bit clunky, a collection of lines are a bit blatant in their placements in the different conversations, but overall I didn't think it really got in the way of this story. This movie spends a lot more time in the supernatural world as this cop searches for the truth, and this movie has its own issues on that front, let alone its delivery of societal viewpoints. And overall, this wasn't a horrible movie, but it wasn't one of the best ones I've seen recently either. As a straight-to-video thriller, there is some fun to be had in moments. Body Cam for me, I'll give it 55% on the meter. The acting was a little iffy in places. Their material wasn't the most thorough, so there's only so much they could do with it. I do think when this movie is showcasing its brutal kills and the violence, there is some fun to be had. However, when it's telling its story is sadly when the appeal and the attention span of the viewer will drift dramatically. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop it a thumbs up, leave a comment below. I'd love to talk movies with you guys. Share it with your friends, and without question, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you can never miss a video. Here are some links to some recent reviews just in case you missed them. All my social media links and the link to our official website are down in the description below, and I'll catch you next time.